Hello and welcome to Alliance War Season 51, Episode 4. So we're 3-0 to start the season. We actually won on time against DSVG. Both had 7 deaths, but we just managed to win on time, which is pretty uncommon for us. We usually lose on time. But yeah, we'll take the win for sure. It puts us 5th currently in Masters, and we've got 5 fights in today's war. And we're using a couple new champs for this season. Our opponent is next, so pretty strong alliance. They currently sit 1 rank above us in 4th position. And our team today is our 7-star rank 3 Onslaught, our 7-star rank 2 Maestro, and our 7-star rank 2 Photon. So we are running our non-recoil masteries because Photon isn't super friendly with them. She obviously has the bleed immunity, but because we're switching around a lot of champions, there's no real reason to run recoils. We're actually using all 3 of our champions for different hazard shift fights. But the first fight we have here is Wong, so we're starting off on path 6, and the main goal for this fight is to make sure that we finish this fight when he has less than a bar of power. Because if he dies when he has more than a bar of power, he's going to place a crossfight on us, and then the next fight we enter, our opponent's going to gain a bar of power rapidly. And apparently the crossfight is sort of bugged for some reason, in some way. I'm not sure how it's bugged, but I was just told that the main thing is to just not let him have a bar of power by the end of the fight. So that's the main goal here. Now, he was being... this war was pretty bad for me. I had a lot of issues, just skill issues, and you'll see like how he comboed through my block. We have to make sure that we throw a heavy right before he gets to 100 Eldritch, so we actually managed to reparry there. And unfortunately, that pushed us to a special 3, so we weren't able to fire off a big special 2 because we did have our science power boost on. So this isn't a great start to the fight because we're backed into the corner. So we do decide to throw a special 3 just to get ourselves out of our corner. This won't do too much damage, but it'll be better than nothing, and we'll get a little bit of power back from the power boosts. And we are still in pure light form. He obviously he's going to get plenty of specials, even though he has the petrify. He's able to throw off those special ones pretty frequently. But he's pretty close to death now, so we're trying to get him to throw a special 1, and then we want to probably counter with the heavy so we can get rid of the Eldritch, or at least once he gets to 90, use the heavy. So we combo him to about 87 energy there, and we counter with the heavy that special 1, so he's down to 0 now, and he's below a bar of power. So we managed to get him down without pulling a crossfire on us, which is the goal for the fight. Next up is a Nick Fury, so we're using Onslaught. Onslaught is one of the safest Nick Fury counters in the entire game because of that, obviously that 150% bleed resistance, and he's just a tanky boy. Now, despite him being really safe for him, he's not ideal because with Nick Fury's second life, it can, remove all his neuroshocks, and so we definitely want to get into the second life as quickly as possible. I'm not really sure why they placed Nick Fury here. It's kind of a weird placement. You definitely see Nick Fury a lot more on Path 5 in this first section. I guess they placed him here because of the aggression prowess. If he throws a special 1 with a lot of prowess, and if it's not blockable, it could be a potential issue, but it's not really an issue for us since we're able to keep those prowesses at bay. So we get a nice couple of heavy counters there. And I decided to wait till he was in second life before throwing the special 2 because there wasn't really much point throwing it in first life because otherwise you would have just purified all the degens heading into second life. So we get a couple of degens there, but obviously he'd purified all his neuros entering in the second life. We get a really nice couple of heavy counters there. It's obviously it's easier to heavy counter him, a lot easier to heavy counter him when he's stun immune. And then we finish off with the special 1, so pretty clean fight overall for that Nick Fury. In comparison, this fight was not clean at all. I had a terrible time on this fight, and you'll see it was very, very close to death, and it's the first time I think I've used Maestro in war ever. He's very safe for Path 9 because he's tanky with that glancing, and obviously he's got shock immunity and incinerate immunity. Don't ask me why I threw like a 4-hit combo there. He auto-blocked me with the tactic, and it wasn't a great start. So we're only at 5 charges at the moment. We're into the bleed phase now. We'll have to wait that out because obviously Maestro isn't bleed immune at all. So we get into the shock phase. And again, I'm just throwing way too many hits before we get to our clarity. And obviously I'm not getting many parries in. But we finally get the clarity there. This also has power focus 2, and I'm not good at dexing special 2, so I think I actually get him to throw a special 2 and I block it, but the ruptures did do a lot of damage. So we did throw one heavy in that bleed phase. We did get one bleed on us, which doesn't do a massive amount of damage. We're able to pretty much mitigate all of it with willpower healing, but it's not ideal. He's at a special 2 now, and we block it. We do get 2 ruptures on us, and it did quite a lot of block damage, a lot more than I anticipated. I think it's because of the locked on. And so you can see that we're down to about half our health now, and he's trapped us into the corner very easily. And at this point, I had to switch my strategy up because we were in a terrible position. So we're into the shock phase now, which is good. We can freely hit him. But as soon as the next bleed phase started, I wanted to make sure that I could do a lot more hits in the block just to keep him out of my corner. Because that's just, otherwise he's just gonna easily just combo heavies after heavy and just clip me down and kill me. So we get into block a lot more here in the bleed phase, and you can see we're actually getting some distance now. We're actually getting ourselves out of our corner, which is what we want to do. We throw a special 2 here. Only got a couple furies on us, but it's better than nothing. And he's throwing the special ones a lot more frequently now, which is good. We're into the bleed phase now, so we're just wanting to get him to block, and that's what he does here. He's being a lot more cooperative now. So we get him basically into his corner now as soon as the shock phase starts, which is awesome. So despite us being very low on health, we managed to recover this fight very well since from the start of that fight. I'm not sure why I didn't counter that special one. Oh, I think it's because I didn't have clarity. So we do have clarity now. And the bleed phase has started, so we just want to play it safe. Because that's the other issue is trying to balance the clarity with hazard shift as well. Because when you're in the shock phase, when you're in the bleed phase, you can't really gain clarity charges. So there's a chance that that clarity can run out. But we're up to another clarity here into the shock phase, and that finishes them off. So very, very, very sketchy fight, but we managed to get it down in the end with Maestro. Next up is a Mephisto on one eye open. And we're using Onslaught. Again, a very safe counter for this fight, because Onslaught has that 150% bleed resistance, shock resistance, and also incinerate resistance. So all 3 of the debuffs that we have to worry about, he can counter completely. So we just want to do this whole fight pretty much by heavy countering. And I think I messed up one of the heavy counters, maybe this one. Yeah, I just didn't, I think he threw a medium instead of a light before the heavy, so that's why we weren't able to counter. Here I threw the special 1 at the special 2 at a horrible time, because the first hit didn't connect, so we didn't actually convert any of those neuros to degens. But we're able to very easily keep the neuros paused. And as long as we don't parry, we should be fine, because as soon as we parry, we're going to start taking neuro damage instead of him. Well, he will take damage as well, but we'll take a lot of it back as well. But yeah, the great thing about this fight is we're able to stay really easily topped off with those debuffs, just giving us free healing. And then also with the, if we do get shocks on us, that's just free neuros that we can apply every single second. I did parry there by accident, but it actually didn't do that much damage because we don't have any degens on him. It's just the neuro shocks. But we heavy counter that one again. And we're trying to get into a special 2. He's throwing a lot of heavy, so he's trapped us in the corner. So I decided to throw a bit of an extended combo there. And then we heavy counter here into the special 2. Definitely much cleaner special 2 that time. And once that healing goes away, he's going to melt pretty easily. Alright, the last fight is probably the worst fight I've had this season by far. This is an Ebony and Conflictor. I hate this matchup with Photon. I just hate it because it's such a slow fight. And I've never been able to do it well. I've only done it one time before, but I didn't enjoy it that time. I didn't enjoy it this time either. And I probably was a bit too cautious in the shock phase, because with the stat focus and Photon's base energy resistance, she has about 40% energy resistance. So I probably could have afforded to have a few more shock debuffs on myself, but I was playing a bit too safe there. And the other thing I should have done is just thrown more heavies, because despite Photon countering miss with her mediums and also completely ignoring miss in pure light form, it does, the falters then can still mess you up sometimes if you're not paying attention. And then also once you get Black Tongue, your furies are a lot less potent, and you also gain a lot less power. So I definitely should have thrown a lot more heavies, especially in the shock phase as well, because we could have afforded to have 2 or even 3 shock debuffs on us. We would have been fine. He's throwing a lot of special ones, which is okay. It's not too bad. We're in pure light form now. We've got the 5 furies, but now he's just not throwing special 2s at all. So we actually get into a special 2, and I don't know how this happened, but I somehow like dashed into it. I don't know how that happened. I just dashed into a special 2, and it basically killed us. The fight is over now. Like it's going to take a very, very clutch finish, a very, very good player to recover from this point. We're in the shock phase now, and it's just not a good time. I'm not having a good time at all. I don't know how I ate that special 2, because I don't think I dashed in, but apparently I did. And yeah, the invuln saved us from death, because what the invuln does, it doesn't just stop the hit damage, it sort of gives you like a small time of indestructible. And so we were able to stop some of the degen damage during the invulnerability window. And we're actually able to heal a little bit from these debuffs, the shocks and the falters and the armor breaks. At the moment, he's just not throwing a single special attack, which is very annoying. Like, he's been holding a special for like 20 seconds at least. So I decided to push him to a special 2. And I actually dex the part of it. I'm okay with dexing the full thing, but not all the time. But yeah, it didn't kill us, which is good. And the other thing I didn't consider a lot with this fight is when we do have a dex buff on us and he throws a special 1, he instantly nullifies that, so he's able to gain a lot of that power back from throwing the special 1. And again, he's just not throwing specials at all at this point. So we get into a special 2 again. We get a almost perfect dex there. We blocked 1 hit for about 4.6k, I think. But we're in the shock phase now. We do throw 1 heavy just to get him out of our face. He's not throwing a single special 1 at this point. He was throwing them like crazy before, and he ends up comboing me through my block, which for my first death of the season. So very unfortunate, definitely avoidable if I had not dashed into the special 2 somehow, but yeah, that's how it is sometimes. Very unfortunate. I just hate that matchup because it's so slow. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this war. Hope you enjoyed that death, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Peace out.